Hey guys! Things that take up space in my brain part 10. We're getting into double digits. So, the story goes, I decided to start recycling. I called to set up a bin that they could just come pick up with my recycling, and they said, oh, we can't do that in your area. Literally everywhere around me they can, they just can't in my little teeny tiny village, I think is what it's technically considered, because of, I don't know, like they don't really explain it. I'm assuming it's just because our streets are small. Anyways, so I wound up having to take my recycling. Wasn't a problem. There was one particular place where I took it. I would go there most of the time anyways, and so I was like, all right, whatever. And then people decided to start throwing trash into that recycling receptacle. And they decided, you know what, we're not going to deal with this anymore. So they stopped putting it there. So then I was like, well, crud, where do I take my stuff? And so everybody was like, hey, there's this other recycling place. Take it there. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, the issue with that is that you cannot recycle glass or bags at this new one. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do with my glass and my bags? And so I found a store that takes bags as recycling. Cool, that worked out. But then I still couldn't find anything to do with all my glass. And I was like, I don't really want to throw it away. I mean, I could. It's not the end of the world. But so I posted and just kind of asked friends, like, what do I do with glass? And they said, just take it to the recycling place. And I was like, what recycling place? And there's like, there's actually a recycling place in town. And I was like, I thought they carted it away out of town. I didn't know. So, anyways, my friends tell me where this recycling place is. So I decide to go there one day when my daughter's in school and I have my son. He's pretty little, probably like 2, maybe 3. So this was a few years ago. Anyways, I pull up. Basically, all it says is, this is the recycling place. There's no instructions of what to do or where to go. There's like a big bay door and then there's a door off to the side. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I just go in and talk to somebody. So I walk up and I'm like looking around and I don't see anything. I'm like, all right. So I open the door and I definitely had that feeling of like, I don't know if I'm supposed to go inside or not, or I didn't really know what to do. So I open the door and there's 3 guys. There's 2 of them that are like messing with something. I don't really know what. And then there's another one that has a forklift and I'm trying to catch their attention for probably around a minute, best guess. So I'm trying to catch their attention. Nobody sees me. So I'm like, all right, well, I look around and I see what looks like an office if I just kind of go up. There looks like there's like a window in an office. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe I just go in and can talk to somebody in the office since I can't get these guys' attention and they're, doing something important. And, one of them's on a forklift and I don't want to distract him. And so I kind of stood there for a minute and watched. And so the guy had come back, and I had stepped back out the door when I had seen that he was on a forklift because he was really close to the door, and I didn't want to get hit, and I didn't want my kid to get hit. And so when he starts to pull forward again, well, he goes forward. I didn't wait until he started. Like, I made sure he was still going. And I switched my son to the opposite side so that there's me in between the forklift and my son. And I start walking to this office. And as I'm walking, I hear, hey! And I was like, instant gut sinking, like, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be in here. No signs saying that you couldn't go in or anything like that. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I have some recycling, didn't know what to do with it. I saw that there might be an office here, and they're like, yeah, that's an office, but you shouldn't be in here. No, 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 no. And I get where they were coming from. And one of the guys, the guy that was on the forklift, was like reaming me out for like, oh, this is a forklift, and you could have gotten hurt, and da 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 da. And I was just like, hey, like, I didn't know what to do. I was watching, and I don't think they really believed me, but it's like I've been around forklifts before. Not like in great gobs, but I've worked at stores where there are forklifts or some equipment like that. And I know that if they don't see you, it is your responsibility to stay out of their way. So I was giving him a wide berth, but there's no way he could have known that. And he was worried about my safety. He was mad because he could have hurt me and then he would have felt bad. And I had a kid with me. And, so I 100% get where they were coming from. So anyways, yeah, I go back outside and before, as I'm heading outside, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, you just pull your vehicle up to the door. There's a doorbell. And I was like, I didn't see a doorbell. They had one of those long black things that go across like the road or whatever. And it ding so that they know that somebody's there. I If I had seen one of those before, I don't think I even knew what it was at that point because I'd never really seen those before until the last couple of years. And that's when I figured out what they were. Was at that recycling place because I genuinely, like, I'd seen it, but I didn't know what it was. If I'd seen it and gone, oh, that's a doorbell thing I'm supposed to pull up there. Easy peasy. So as I'm walking out, I see it, and I'm like, okay, well. So I pulled up, and they come out and, take my glass, and they're not very pleased. Which again, I don't hold it against them. It's not like they were being jerks or anything like that. Like, obviously, I apparently wasn't supposed to go in there. There weren't any signs saying not to go in there, but they also didn't have signage, at least at the time. Who knows? Maybe now they do, and if so, I'm taking credit for that. But they didn't have any signs with, like, just pull forward or nothing. They had nothing. So I was just kind of like, okay. So I try to go back there as little as humanly possible. I haven't ever seen the same guys again, and if I saw them, I probably wouldn't recognize them. I'm probably one of those people, though, that they're probably like, oh, that idiot, I remember her. Because I've worked in customer service, and just at every job, you have that one person, or 20, where you're like, I remember you. You probably don't want me to, but I remember you, and I don't like you. Anyways, that is my story about when I started trying to, well, didn't try, but when I started recycling and had an issue, and now I know what I'm doing. Kind of. Anyways, things to take up space in my brain, part 10. Hope you guys are enjoying them. Talk to you later. Bye.